Biden is a warlord, dragging the world and pushing the world towards World War III. Biden gave Zelensky the go-ahead to use long-range missiles, and he's condoning a Gaza Strip genocidal war on the Palestinians. But more danger is Biden pushing the world into World War III over Ukraine. There's a difference between defending Ukraine and their sovereign territories, but to ask the world to pay the ultimate price of nuclear destruction because Biden wants to attack and topple the Kremlin is going beyond the boundaries of what an American president should do when it comes to diplomacy. You shouldn't provoke Russia into unleashing their 6,000 nukes on the Western powers because Biden's senile old ass doesn't know how to interpret the warning signs. So there's a difference. To give Zelensky the weapons to defend his sovereign territory. See, Zelensky in Ukraine doesn't have 6,000 nukes. That's the difference. Defend and liberate the Ukrainian territory, but you don't have to drag the world and push the world into nuclear destruction. You don't have to go head first and invade and topple the whole Ukrainian, the whole Russian government with American long-range missiles. You know, Zelensky, he invaded Kirkuk, and then as soon as he invaded Kirkuk, they attempted to fly 7 drones into Moscow to destroy the Kremlin. And now Zelensky not only are using these drones to strike directly at the seat of government of Russia, but now Biden, as a senile old bastard, gives the Secretary of Defense the go-ahead to give Zelensky long-range missiles. For now, Zelensky can attack the whole of Russia, topple the Kremlin with our missiles, and think that won't provoke Russia to use their nuclear deterrence on the West. At the end of the day, you overstepped your bounds, and that's why you was forced out of the Oval Office. Because any leader with common sense will know not to cross so many red lines. In the Middle East, with your genocidal support of the war on the Gaza Strip, but more deadly than ever is to provoke Zelensky into dragging the whole world into nuclear destruction for his selfish reasons of his country's self-defense. You think the countries of the world want to pay the ultimate price because of Zelensky? Because of his misplaced exuberance of invading and toppling the whole of Russia? That somehow that's going to make us look like we're winning the war? See, Biden, Russia has 6,000 nukes. Ukraine has 0. What, you want to give Zelensky nuclear long-range missiles for him to use as he feels fit? And then the world has to pay the ultimate price because of it. What? Somehow your aviation glasses, Biden, is going to compensate for millions of people going up in infernos of nuclear mushrooms? Somehow you're going to look like Tom Cruise flying the F-16 with nuclear missiles with Zelensky's pilots, and somehow that's going to make you look like congeal? It's going to make you look cool? Somehow you think in your dementia head you look like Tom Cruise in Top Gun? And this is all a fantasy of your dementia? Abe Lincoln, your state secretary, he goes over there and plays the guitar. Sing like he reminds me of the song with his guitar singing to Putin. You got mud on your face, you a big disgrace. We will rock you. And somehow, the one that's provoking all of this is Biden's derangement of long-range missiles. You know, Lazinski, he got desperate because he thought that I only have a month or two before the presidential elections in America, and if Trump wins, there goes my weapon supply. So let me invade Kirkuk. Somehow that's going to motivate Biden to give me long-range missiles. So Lazinski oversteps his bounds and attacks Russia, which has 6,000 nuclear stockpiles. And he, with his demented selfishness, he thinks that he can ragtag the whole of Russia in order to carry favor with Biden. And then he gives he orders 7 armed drones to bombard Moscow, the seat of government of Russia, most likely to aim it at the Kremlin. And somehow this is gonna do what, Biden? You're giving no other outcome but for nuclear war to run rampant in the midst of World War III. And somehow your aviation glasses are going to make me feel a little bit comfortable because of it. You're going to look like your Tom Cruise, but the older version, Top Gun. Huh? And your dementia, senile, demented head. You think by being America's warlord, somehow that's going to make you go down with grace in the history books? You're pushing the world into that direction. At least with Trump, he's willing to submit that both sides should agree to a peace accord. Trump is not willing to provoke World War III. That's the only thing I agree with Trump. I despise him for everything else of his political career. But if there's one thing he makes logic sense in, is to walk away from World War III while you got a chance. And that's the difference. That's why I'm so pissed off at Biden. Because he has no fortitude to have a foresight of what he's walking into head first. See, we could defend Ukraine, we could defend their territories. We don't have to topple the whole of Russia with American long-range missiles. Because then it's directly America attacking Russia. What if Lazinski toppled the Kremlin with our missiles? What if he undiscriminately starts to bomb the whole of Russia? Don't you think Russia has the right to defend themselves with their deterrent? If America is directly making this possible, that means it's an attack from America directly on Russia. That means an attack from all, meaning NATO, they're all ganging up on one, meaning Russia. Because, you know, they're like bullies. If you fight one of them, they're all. So don't you think Russia has the right to defend themselves from being jumped? And they got 6,000 hypersonic nukes. In case they get rolled on by these Westies, gangsters that you call NATO. They feel like they got to jump on any nation on Earth. Like, if you fight one of us, you got to fight us all because we all going to jump you. It's like some type of street gang. That they don't do fair fights. If you fight one of them, they're all going to roll on you and jump you. So don't you think Russia feel like y'all all ganging up on it? And now this long-range missiles is a direct attack from Washington on the Kremlin? You think Russia is just going to be toppled with you giving the green light and Lloyd Austin III, World War III secretary, third time's a charm, Lord Austin. What? Lazinski, take these long-range missiles. What is it, Lockheed Martin? Take these long-range missiles and topple the seat of government. Cripple the Kremlin. Strike indiscriminatively all over Russia. Biden, don't you think that's in a direct order of America attacking Russia? You a bully. You keep on pushing Russia back against the wall and think that they won't bludgeon your nose with 6,000 of their nukes. You think this is a game with your dementia, Alzheimer? You fucking don't know the reality you live in. But you want to keep on pushing it to the limit. Like you're some type of gangster. Huh? You big and bad. With your little long-range missiles, you look like Tony Montana. Say hello to my little friend. Here, Putin, here. Long-range missiles, here. Long-range missiles, there. You wanna hit the Kremlin and make it into a rubble? You want Zelensky to run rampant all over Russia. You want Abe Lincoln to go over there and throw concerts and say, here's long-range missiles. We going to throw mud in your face, Putin. Like he's some type of rock and roll star. Huh? You want the world to be dragged into an inferno because of your derangement. Not having common sense of where you should not go when it comes to your fucking warlord behavior. At the end of the day, you think the world population of citizens give a fuck about Zelensky? They want to live in peacetime. They want to feed their families. They want to enjoy raising families and having to see their kids and daughters grow up in peacetime. Not in nuclear destruction infernos throughout the world. But I don't think you get the common sense at this point with your dementia. At the end of the day, you want to give Zelensky all the capabilities to directly destroy the Russian government. Zelensky invaded Kirkuk, and in that same week, he sent 7 armed drones to hit the Kremlin. And this is something, Biden, you want to condone? This is something you want to keep on giving him. Like, Biden reminds me, you know, when you get into a fight in the middle of the street, and then you got people standing around you, provoking you to fight. Instigators. That all they want to see is a fight. All they want to see is like entertainment. They headlines and they say fight. While they laugh and tell jokes. But this is more perverted than that. These Westies, they want to jump on a single nation. They want to roll on a single nation because they don't fight one-on-one. So they got to gang up as street thugs. The Westies. West Side gangsters. So now y'all want to all roll up into the Kremlin and roll on them like thugs. Y'all want to stand on the sideline and use Zelensky as a flunky to do the heavy lifting while y'all sit in the sidelines on peacetime and y'all enjoy y'all economies. And y'all use Ukraine as a proxy to weaken your foe. And the ones to pay are the Ukrainian people because you're sending them into a suicidal mission. Because y'all don't have the foresight to pull back in time in order to avoid World War III. So, what's next? Zelensky invaded Kirkuk, and now he threw 7 gliders to bombard the Kremlin. And now, after that, it motivated Biden to give him more long-range missiles in order to reach anywhere in Russia. So now it's this warlord Biden attacking directly the seat of government of Russia. And now Biden doesn't want to do the fighting on our own. So we say NATO, if you fight me, you got to fight NATO. We all roll together. We thugs. We're the Westies. West Side gangsters. We gang up on nations like bullies. So at the end of the day, you think Russia doesn't have to fight the right to bludgeon y'all nose as bullies to defend themselves. For them to have their gangsters, their allies, to come to Russia and to make it an even fight. Or what y'all thought y'all can all jump Russia, gang up on Russia like bullies because y'all don't know how to fight one-on-one. And now y'all want to roll on them. And what? Russia doesn't have the right to have allies and friends to come to their rescue? So in the midst of World War III, now you're going to have all the stockpiles of nuclear missiles flying everywhere because of Biden and his dementia. At the end of the day, there's a reason that Democrats pushed him out of office. And if there's anything I agree with Trump, this is the only thing. Is to give peace a chance and walk away from the precipice of falling prey to World War III. Biden, you're out of it. Your mind doesn't know how to, you don't have scruples to know that you're pushing the world into destruction. The same way you're pushing the Palestinians with genocidal wars. But that's a microcosm. You're pushing the whole world into nuclear destruction. Because you're cocky with yourself. Misplaced exuberance. You think that you're going to knock him out in the 12th round and jump around like you're Rocky or something? Like this is a movie for you or something? You think that this is a game? That you can keep on pushing the issues? You know, there was a difference. You could have defended Ukraine. You could have liberated Ukraine. But you didn't have to tell the world to pay the ultimate price for it. Neither does that selfish Lazinski. With his naivete, selfishness about Ukraine. We get them all the aid to liberate his nation, not to push the world into nuclear infernos. So fuck you, Biden, and fuck Lazinski if you think the world has to pay the ultimate price. And if you don't know how to fight fair and fair and you want to gang up on Russia like a bunch of Westie street thug gangs, then go ahead. But I bet you in the midst of World War III, people will know who was pushing the issues to Armageddon. See, I'm pissed off because I told you stay in Ukraine, but don't ever dare push your way into Russia and drag the world into nuclear destruction. But you don't know how to you don't know how to bite your tongue. You don't know how to command yourself with restraint. So you're pushing the limits. And the nuclear tick-tock clock is about to strike doomsday. But since you have dementia, you don't have sense of time. You fucker. Biden is like a fucking blind man with a blind stick crossing all over red lines and has the slightest fucking clue